Hello and welcome guys to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will be talking about standard form. Now, standard form is a way of writing very large or very small numbers concisely. It's also known as scientific notation, okay? Now, how do we write standard form? This right here, this is the form. It's a multiplied by 10 to the power of n, where a is between 1 and 10, but as you can see, there is an equal here, so it can be exactly 1, and there is no equal over here, so it's always less than 10, okay? It can never be 10. And n is an integer, okay, which is the power of 10. Now, as you know, integers are positive and negative whole numbers along with the 0, so -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on from both sides, okay? Now, let's take an example here. Express the following in standard form. So we have 5,200. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the number. And I'm going to locate the decimal point in this number. The decimal point is right here at the end of the number because this is 0.0. All right, but we don't really write this normally. Now, what I need to do is I need to move this decimal point so that my number becomes between 1 and 10. So when I move it to the right or to the left? To the left, so I can make it smaller. So I will move it 1 time. Now we have 520. Now we have 52. We're not quite between 1 and 10 yet, so I'll move it one more. And now we have 5.2. All right, 5.2, and I will write this down over here. So as you can see, we have 5.2, which is between 1 and 10. And now we should multiply this by 10 to the power of the number of steps we took. How many steps did we take? We took 3, all right? But will it be positive or -3? The way you think about this is as follows. You see, we made the number smaller or bigger? We made it smaller, right? So we make the power bigger, which means 3, not -3, okay? This way, now 5.2 multiplied by 10 to the power 3 is the same as 5,200, all right? And this right here, this is what we call the standard form, all right? And the 5,200 is called an ordinary number. And of course, you're required to be able to either transform an ordinary number to a standard form or quite the opposite. All right, so moving on to the next example, we've got 0.00034, so I'll write it down. All right, so now I'm gonna get on this decimal point and I want to move it so that my number is between 1 and 10. Now, I will not move it to the left because that will not achieve what I want. I will move it to the right. So now we have 0.0034, 0.034, 0.34. We're not quite there yet. And one more. Now we have 3.4, so I will stop. So it's 3.4, all right? So this is my my A right here. And now I'm going to multiply it by 10 to the power of, well, we moved 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, all right? We moved 4 steps. And did we make the number bigger or smaller? As you can see here, we have 0.0034, and then it's 3.4, so we made it bigger. So our power will be smaller, so we will have -4 right here, okay? This is the final answer in standard form. Okay, moving on to the third example. We have 618,000. And again, the decimal point is right here, and I will move it to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now we have 61.8. We want it to be between 1 and 10, so one more, and now we have 6.18. That's it, I will stop. So 6.18 multiplied by 10 to the power. Now we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And our number got smaller, so our power will be bigger, so it will be positive, so 5. Okay, so hopefully this was clear. I'm moving on to the fourth example. we have 0.000, and another 2 zeros, and a 0, and a 2, 4. All right. So we have 5 zeros and 24. And now I'm going to again move the decimal point so that I have a number between 1 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll have 2.4. And we will multiply this by 10 to the power of 6 because we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. But now our number, it was smaller and then it got bigger. So our power must be smaller. So negative. Okay. All right, now let's move on. So now in this example, we are asked to express the following numbers. This should be in ordinary format, okay? So as you can see, we have a standard form and we want to turn it into an ordinary format. Now, this is much simpler. What you should do is just simply write out 7.8, and then this is multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. So it will make my number bigger, yeah? So I'll move to the right. How many times? 5 times. It depends on the power, okay? So I'll move to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And I will place my decimal point right here. And now you can write a 0 in each of those loops. So 0, 0, and 0. And this is the final answer. So 780,000, okay? Okay, second one. So we have 3.59 multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. So I will again write the 3.59 and we have a power of 5. So I will move the decimal to the right because the number is supposed to get bigger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will stop here and fill zeros in my loops. And so the number is 359,000. Third example, we have 5.2 and it's multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 3. So this is negative. The number is supposed to get smaller. So instead of moving to the right, I will move to the left by 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And I will put my decimal right here. So here I will put 0 and 0 instead of my loops. But it wouldn't make sense to just write 0.0052. There would be a 0 here. All right. So it's 0.052. Let's move on to the fourth example. We have 3.09 to the power, multiplied, by 10 to the power of negative 5. So again, I will move to the left because the power is negative by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I will put my decimal right here. And we have zeros instead of all those loops. So the final answer is 0.000030 and 9. So hopefully you get the idea. All right, now let's move on. So sometimes you have a little bit of a trickier cases to deal with. So we have here, let's write each of the following numbers in standard form. So we have 0.00000456, okay? So I will start moving to the right so I can get a number between 1 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will stop here. Now, a common mistake that students do sometimes is to stop right here. But that would be wrong because your number would be less than 1, all right? So the answer will be 4.56 multiplied by 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we made the number bigger, so the power should be smaller, so this will be negative. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the second example. We've got 0.4 zeros, 708. Now, I will move my decimal to the right again by 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now, we don't quite have a number between 1 and 10. We have 0.708, okay? So one more, that's it, 7.08, okay? So 7.08. And again, our number was smaller, became bigger. So our power will be smaller. So this will be negative right here. And how many times did we move? Well, we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, so it's power of negative 5. Okay, we've got 0.999. So in this case, we should only move once to the right, and that's it. You have 9.99. All right, so this number is actually less than 10, so we're good to go, and it's above 1. So multiply this by 10, and again, we made our number bigger. It was smaller, we made it bigger, so this will be smaller, so negative, and negative 1, because we only moved once. All right, so we have, let's see, 123 million. All right, so my let me just space out those zeros a little bit better. Okay, so my decimal point is right here, and I will move to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 123, 7, 112.3, and finally 8, because we need a number between 1 and 10. So 1.23 multiplied by 10. And we moved 8 times, and our number went from being big to small, so the power will be positive. Okay, that's it. This is the answer right here. All right, so example 5, we have 7.32. So we'll write it out. Now, if you take a look here, decimals right here, should I move to the right or to the left? Either one would be wrong, because the number is already bigger than or equal to 1. It's already less than 10. All right, so this number is just straight, ready to go, okay? So, but of course I can't leave it like this because this is an ordinary number. The standard form states that it needs to be multiplied by 10 to the power of an integer. In this case, since we moved 0 spaces, we will just put 0 over here. In any case, 10 to the power of 0 is equal to 1, because anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1, all right? So this is as good as multiplying by 1, so it's the same number. Okay, so hopefully this was clear. This case is quite tricky. Let's look at 0.123. So I'll move the decimal place once to the right, and that's it. I'll stop because now I have 1.23 multiplied by 10 to the power of. Firstly, my number was smaller, it got bigger, so this should be small, so negative. And we moved once, so to the power of 1. Okay? So hopefully this is clear. All right, now moving on to some exercises. You should pause the video and try to find the standard form. Wait. Yeah, you should try to find the standard form for each of the following ordinary numbers. I will go ahead and start solving them. So firstly, we have 0.00456. I will move to the right 1 time, 2 times, and 3. And I will stop here because this is between 1 and 10. So 4.56 multiplied by 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3. We moved 3 times, and my number was smaller. It got bigger, so this should be smaller, so negative. Okay, and that's it. This is the answer. Now over here we have 75,300. The decimal points right here. I will move it to the left 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. So we have 7.53 multiplied by 10 to the power of, this will be 4. All right, because we moved 4 times. Moving on, we have 0.000457. So I will write this out. And I will move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, and 4 times, and that's it. So 4.567, because my number is now between 1 and 10, and I will multiply this by 10 to the power of, 1, 2, 3, 4, moved 4 times, and our number was smaller, so this will be negative. Okay? All right, now over here we have negative 0.4 zeros, 3, 4, and 5. So I will move my decimal point to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's 3.45, and don't forget the negative over here, okay? Multiplied by 10 to the power of, we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and our number was smaller. It got bigger, so smaller, we got here a negative, okay? And we have negative 687,000. And I will place my decimal point over here and start moving to the left by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So we have negative, let me just fix this. All right. We have negative 6.87 multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. And we moved, sorry, the number was bigger. It got smaller. So this will be positive, stays as it is. All right, now we have 1.002. So again, the number is already bigger than 1 and less than 10, so we're good to go. We'll just multiply this by 10 to the power of 0. This is the answer, okay? Okay, now we have 0.1234, so I will write it. And then we will move the decimal place to the right by 1. And that's it. Now our number is 1.234, which is between 1 and 10, multiplied by 10 to the power of, well, our number was smaller, it got bigger, so this should be negative 1. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. We have 12 and 9 zeros, it's 12 billion. And so the decimal is right here. I will move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I will stop here. So 1.2 multiplied by 10 to the power of 10, because the number was bigger, became smaller. Okay. Now you should convert the following from standard to ordinary. Again, pause the video, try to do it on your own. All right, so we have 4.56 multiplied by 10 to the power of 3. All right. So I'm actually going to write it without this so we can have more space to work with. So we have 4.56. I will move to the right by 1, 2, and 3. And I will put a 0 right here. So we have 4,560. Right here we have 7.89. I will again move to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a dot right here. So this is 0, 0, and 0. So it's 789,000. Over here we have 6.78, and the power is negative 4. So I will move to the left because the number is supposed to get smaller by 4 times 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Put decimal here and fill the loops with zeros. So we got 0.000678. Over here, I will write 2.5, and again, this is negative 3, so I will move the decimal to the left by 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Fill those with zeros, so the final answer is 0.0025. All right, you should also try to do those. Now I'll solve them. So we have 1.09 multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 1. So I will move the decimal, because it's negative, the number is supposed to get less, to the left by 1 exactly, and that's it. I'll stop. So it's 0.109. Over here, it's 6.54 multiplied by 10 to the power of 0. And 10 to the power of 0 is just 1. Okay? So this is just 6.54. That's it. This is the answer. Okay? This is the ordinary number. All right, so now we have 1.23 multiplied by 10 to the power of 8. So 1.23. And we will move the decimal to the right because this is positive 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I will put the decimal right here. So this is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we get 123 and 6 zeros, so it's 123 million. All right, finally we have 2.34 to the power of negative 8. So I will move to the left by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. So we have 7 zeros. So 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 2, 3, 4. This is the final answer. Hopefully you got the idea behind transforming standard to ordinary or the opposite. And thank you for watching.